Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is something very fucking different. Today, what I thought I'd bring you is just the strangest and most out of context video you can possibly imagine from this channel, and that is, we're going to be cleaning up and we're going to be talking. I can't think of any other way to describe that. So I'm playing a game called Viscera Cleanup Detail. This is like a weird indie PC game. I've raved about this game in the past, and today I'm going to be playing the Christmas map, so Santa's Rampage, and I'm going to be cleaning it up, or cleaning up most of it at least, and yeah, just talking about life, talking about whatever comes to mind. Consider this like a podcast, but with footage. And I don't know about you, but I find cleaning pretty damn satisfying. And yeah, I know the keyboard's annoying. Some people might actually like the keyboard because it's mechanical, so it's all typewritery. But I haven't quite figured out a way to shut the fucking keyboard up. So at this point in time, I don't really have a method. So if you don't like the keyboard, I'm sorry. It's just the way life works, unfortunately. So this game, in case you've never seen anything about it, is one of the most unique games I think you could ever find. It's quite simply cleaning. So you get a level, it's an absolute tip, and you're the janitor. You gotta clean it up and make it look presentable, basically. So this is as I said, this is the Christmas version. This map isn't really that big. I've fucking played this so many times now. I somehow have about 24 hours on this map, I think. And it's literally about 4 different rooms. I play it way too much. I play it even when it's not Christmas. But yeah, it's a damn satisfying game. If you like cleaning, it's literally the perfect game for you. If you hate cleaning, then you'll probably hate it and find it ultimately very pointless. But I fucking love it. So the reason why I'm playing this one today is because it's the 1st of November today. Hallelujah. I mean, I'm big on Christmas. I fucking love Christmas to bits. And as soon as November hits for me, actually that's a lie, as soon as September hits for me, I start thinking about Christmas. I usually listen to Christmas songs all year round anyway, because, yeah, I'm just one of those people that can't seem to accept that, you know, you gotta wait a specific amount of time for Christmas. Not for me. Christmas just kind of comes naturally. But yeah, it's the 1st of November today, and it's about 8 o'clock in the evening, so I thought I'd kick back and play a little bit I can't speak. Kick back and play a little bit of this. Just record some talking. Keep it nice and relaxed. Maybe even fuck it out. Maybe even try and get a little bit festive. And we'll see what's going on. Yeah, right now I'm getting a bit Christmassy. I won't lie to you. I get Christmassy, as I said, very early on, but as soon as November hits, boy, that's when it all kicks off for me. The thing about this map is you can either destroy all of the Christmas items and you get an achievement, or you keep all of the Christmas items intact. Chucking them is easier than keeping them, so obviously we're going to keep them for a bit of a challenge. So I'm going to try and tidy this shithole up as much as possible. Try to keep things intact generally. And, oh, that was a nice bit of lag there. But, most importantly, make this presentable for the coming season. Because you don't want a messy workshop when Santa's about. I'm just going to try and balance these presents up here as much as possible. Tanky 2 feet. Or, two? Am I actually special? 2 feet. 2 feet. Fuck me. There you go. So we've cleaned up the fireplace area already. It's already looking pretty damn spick and span. Now my go-to area is the hallway I do last for whatever reason. Basically I play this game too much, so I sort of know all the tactics and everything. But this is kind of common sense. But you always got to clear your path basically. So you need the bin dispensers, you need the bucket dispensers. Make sure that's clean, otherwise you're gonna be treading blood everywhere. So we're gonna grab a bin. So what we're gonna do is clean up this shit. The big bodies, fuck putting them in the bin, because it just doesn't really work that well. So the big bodies I just carry straight to the fire. Saves a bit of time. Like this big heavy boy over here, I'm just gonna yeet him over here in the fire like so. So the worst thing about this game is the physics, because although they're pretty damn cool, they just bug out a lot. The amount of times the arm has fallen into the ground, or that my bin has started flying across the room, or some shit like that. Yeah, it stresses you out, especially when you're trying to actually get the job done. So if you like viscera, then maybe I can give you some little tips and tricks along the way. First tip and trick of the day, these tiny little USB name tag things. Some people might go over here and scan them, but if you do that, you're a pussy. Instead, what you got to do is put them in your mop bucket. Simple as. I'll try and show you an example. So these little things here, there's no point putting them in a bin. If you don't have a bin and you don't want to walk, then just put it at the bottom of your mop bucket. Simple as. When you go to chuck that in the fire, it'll burn with it. If you wet your mop, it doesn't come out. And most importantly, if you pick it up, it doesn't come out. You can kind of see it like bouncing around, but it doesn't come out, so that's fine. Cleared our path to the bin area. Fuck me. God damn it, I work too much. This is probably the most tedious part, is this room here, because there's a lot of mess and there's also a lot of debris which you have to clean up. Also, the one annoying thing about this map compared to the rest of the game is that the fireplace gets dirty. In the base game, the furnace doesn't get dirty at all, so you can chuck anything you want in there and it won't get dirty at all. But on Santa's Rampage, you have to actually clean the fireplace, which is a bit of a piss take. Also, I absolutely despise taking these elves off the table, because I don't want to knock anything off of it, because that's just long. And then when you have to clean it as well. Oh, what a pain. So I might do some more of these videos. I know I said a while ago that I was going to, that's a lot of Steam notifications. I know a while ago I said that I would try and make some videos on some other content, and I haven't really done that since I made the, what was the most recent one? Was it the Battlefield one or something else? I don't remember. Viscera has always been a big part of my sort of YouTube experience in a weird kind of way. I don't know what Steam is doing right now. It's just having a bit of a panic attack. But I used to use Viscera footage for my my background gameplay. Because of that, it kind of holds a place in my heart. So, in a gay sort of cliche way. Actually, I can't say gay in 2018. Someone will get offended. In a very cliche way, this game does kind of define a part of my little YouTube. So, yeah, I like it. I'm tempted to make more videos on it. I bang it out enough, so it's understandable. And the thing is about this game is that it frustrates me how similar this can be to my job. Minus the dead bodies and the elves and shit like that, if I can fucking jump on it. But take away the dead bodies and cleaning up a big ass mess on your own and just kind of like perfecting everything, making everything, you know, look nice, is something which I actually do at work. And oh fuck, did I break the balls? Oh bollocks. Well, I've already failed that achievement. Yeah, it's something which I kind of do at work, so I can relate to it a little too much, and maybe that's why I like it so much, because I enjoy it at work. I don't know. I really like tidying. I don't necessarily like cleaning, but tidying, yeah, I love tidying. It's so good. Organising stuff, clearing up like a messy floor. Like honestly, that makes my day. Sometimes I purposely leave my room for a while just so I can clean it and, you know, go through my standard procedure of kind of like a weekly cleaning sort of thing. Again, this is getting way too work related, but ever so often you do those jobs which just need doing, like not too regularly, but just enough so it doesn't get disgusting. Prime example would be wiping down the posters and vinyl frames on my walls with polish. Hoovering, I would say, probably isn't a weekly cleaning. I'd say that's like every I don't know, 3-4 days. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's autism or something, but yeah. Also, next tip and trick is something to do with dynamite. And for you to fully clean a level, you have to get rid of dynamite, and fuck throwing it in the fire, because that just creates more mess. Then what you do is you put on the fire and then you drop it in a bucket. It will sizzle out and then it's deactivated, so it no longer counts as a dirty object. Do that for all the dynamite. It's not too hard. It's pretty hard to fuck up. And yeah, after that, it doesn't really matter where you put it. If you're like super OCD freaky, you'll probably find some little like cupboard to stash it away in or some shit. For me, that doesn't matter. I just fucking drop it. Oh bollocks! Fuck! So one of the weird, ironic things about Viscera is that you actually have to clean up your own mess in a weird sort of turn of events. It starts off where you're cleaning up other people's mess, but then as soon as you blow yourself up, you're picking up your own ass and chucking it in a fire. Yeah, I like to use empty buckets as like mini bin dispensers as well. So you can fit small limbs, USBs. You can probably put a head in there as well. Yeah, they work quite well. And then yeah, use it as transport and just chuck it in there. Okay, cool. So there was like a chain reaction of the dynamite. Kind of balls this up a little bit. One thing which you always have to do in this game, which also applies to real life cleaning, is you never start wiping shit if it's dirty. I never understand the point of that. Prime example is if you're cleaning a table that's full of shit, for example food, packaging, anything like that, there's absolutely no point in spraying the table and then wiping all of the stuff off, like pushing it to the floor. Literally take all the shit off the table, put it in the bin, and then that's when you go to work wiping it down. So we're actually, we've massively regressed here. Oh, do you know what? Because we fucked this up so hard, we might as well just burn all the Christmas items anyway. It might make life a bit easier. So yeah, just chuck everything you see in the fire. Doesn't matter if it's some kid's present, it goes in the fire. Put it in the fire, let it burn, and forget about it. One of the worst things about this map is shit falling behind the table, like you can see here. Kind of stuck in the wall as well. If this happens, you have two options. You can either beat it with your mop, and that time it luckily came out. Two, you can use console commands, but thankfully we didn't need to use that today, so we can just bin that shit. I know this sounds slightly psychopathic, but when you burn everything in this map, it looks so much more clean. You might be wondering why aren't I using bins for this? And there's literally no point. The bins are kind of designed for smaller things. So like these kind of presents maybe at a push, but even that's kind of maximizing it. I'd say the only time I actually use bins are for things like shotgun shells, the USB names, possibly a hand or a leg. So yeah, this office is a state, so we're gonna have to take 2 buckets in here. Okay, so we're gonna just gently take the bucket inside. We're gonna work left to right. I know you're already saying, but Dan, you're not tidying before you're cleaning, and yes I know, but I don't want to tread footprints everywhere. Here we see some tiny stuff, which is quite binnable. So we're going to go on a quick detour and grab this bin. In the meantime, we're going to chuck this big ass present in the fire as well, so we can kind of get rid of that. This thing slightly burns if you don't quite get it in. That kind of applies to everything. Tips and tricks for making stuff look tidy. Chairs always make a massive difference. This applies with tidying in real life as well. It's kind of like if you were to tidy your room and you were to not make your bed, it would look miles worse. In fact, it overshadows the whole room. It's that bad. If you're ever tidying your room or something, oh look, this is when it gets fucking irritating. Always make sure that the chairs are neatly stacked, preferably tucked in. So we're just gonna put this in here. This stool that can live out there for the meantime. So this is what I'm talking about with the use of the bin, because if you look at the bin, there's so much more space. And like if you were to put a present in there, like yeah, you still got space, but look how much room that takes up. So we're gonna try and just squeeze that out a little bit. There you go. Knives as well are also kind of a pain in the ass to put in bins. They do work, but you usually have to put them face down. Any other way, it will kind of bug out. And these little volcano things, never put these in bins. It will make your life literally living hell. Now that I think about it, I probably should have just fucking thrown the dynamite somewhere instead of trying to be fancy and take it. It doesn't matter, it's in the past. The double-barreled shotgun, I would usually use to just, you know, end it, but because I'm recording, I'll put it in the fire. Oh, look, and this is when I get fucked off with this game, because those physics were clearly not in my favor right there. I mean, that didn't even spill. So the office is actually quite clean. This bin is getting gradually more full, so we're just gonna make sure that glass isn't still, and it is, of course it is. Now this is a tricky fucker, but with a little bit of precision, you can get it wedged behind the fucking cupboard. So we can take this away now. Now you have 2 options when you dispose of a bin. You can even put the whole bin in the fire and get another bin, or you can take a slightly more interesting approach and try and dump it in the fire using the turning thing. The latter doesn't work because the fire's too small, so you just have to put the whole shitting thing in the bin. So we're going to grab a new bucket and we're going to make a start on the stairs. What I like to do is put these preferably out of the way where you won't hit them, and make your way up, and ensuring you don't tread footprint. You might have noticed there are a couple of stains on the ceiling. That one is most definitely doable, but if you get one on the very high bits, for example, this little panel, which isn't too hard, but I always forget about that. You can either build a big stack of stools, which no one really wants to do, or alternatively you can just open up the console, type in ghost, and yeah, just fly around. This is also quite a useful tool for just going outside the map, and then just so I think I might have broken the game, so we're gonna go back into ghost. Oh, and we're gonna go back to walk. And no, okay, I've still fucked it. Yeah, not quite sure what has happened here.